This is a meditation on insight, also known as Vipashyana, which means insight or investigation. Thus, this practice involves the investigation into our own identity, our own sense of self. But before we begin the relaxation, I ask you please to get into a comfortable position which allows you to stay completely still and completely relaxed for the duration of this practice. So please spend a moment in finding that position that suits you. So as we are relaxed and comfortable in our position of choice, we will keep our eyes closed. And for the relaxation, we will use our conscious imagination, our clairvoyance. At the top of the tree of life is the Absolute, the Void, Source, the Ein Sof. The first emanation, the first begotten Son of the Absolute is a great light. That great light emerges out of the nothingness to sacrifice itself in order to give life to existence and to us. That light, that ray, is called Christ. It is also called the Holy Ray of Gudied. So with our imagination, we will see the Holy Ray of Gudied descending down from the emptiness, from the nothingness, from the Absolute, descending down through Keter, through Hokmah, through Binah, the regions of light, giving life to all those regions. The Holy Ray of Gudied continues its descent away from the region of light, down into the next dimension of spirit, penetrating the spheres of Geburah, Chesed, and Tiferet, giving life to the region of spirit. The Holy Ray of Gudied continues its descent down into the realms that we know as the mental world and the astral world, giving life to those regions. See that great light of Gudied descending further down into the region of Eden, that is, the etheric world, giving life to that region. And finally reaching the physical dimension, Malkut. As the Holy Ray of Gudied reaches the physical dimension of Malkut, it comes out from the sky above. This great pillar of light descends down and penetrates the roof of our house, our home, in which we are located. See that great pillar of light, the light of Christ, descending further down, penetrating the roof of your temple, your inner temple, which is our crown chakra. As the light of Christ touches our crown chakra, it spins that chakra and releases any tension or rigidness in that area. Feeling the warmth of that pillar of light, of the ray of Gudied, as it slowly moves down to our next chakra, the third eye chakra, located in between the two eyebrows. Feel the warmth of this light melting away all tension like melting butter, relaxing the areas of our eyebrows and our forehead. As it descends down towards the throat chakra, it relaxes the cheekbones and the jaws, leaving them hang and relax. The light of Christ enters the throat chakra, spinning that chakra and relaxing and dissolving all tension in that area. Feel the warmth of that ray descending down into our shoulders, relaxing and dissolving all tension. Releasing any tension between the shoulder blades. That holy ray descends into our heart chakra. Feel the warmth and the love in this area. This great pillar of light that has its origins in the Absolute makes its way down further into our solar plexus chakra, melting away like butter all tension, all rigidness, freeing up that chakra of untransformed impressions, of undigested information. That great light making its way down towards our navel chakra. It extends our lower belly and relaxes and releases all tension. Giving life to all our chakras so far. It spins them in a positive manner. Making its way down to the last chakra, the root chakra. It grounds us to the cushion, to the seat in which we are seated on, releasing all tension in our pelvic floor muscles. This great ray of Okidanok has descended from the Absolute, from all the different dimensions, and has pierced our inner being, and has melted away all tension, all rigidness, and it supports our spine. See with your inner eye how this ray slowly dissolves itself and accumulates itself into our sexual organs. For men, our testicles. For women, their ovaries. Feel the warmth accumulating in your sexual organs. Christ, the holy ray of Okidanok, has descended down and deposited itself in our sexual organs for one reason, and that is for us to transmute it. So we will transmute this seed with 7 cycles of Hamsa Pranayama. Take your time. We will begin now. We will begin our investigation into our identity into our sense of self. When we knock at a friend's door, our friend replies, "Who is it?" And we reply, "It is me," while pointing at ourselves. When we point at ourselves and say, "me," we have the sense of self rooted in our body. For we often say or think or even feel that we are our body. But that is an illusion, because with investigation into our body, while visualizing our body, while looking into our body, we will see that the body is not one whole unit, although it appears as one unit. For the body is made up of many limbs, many body parts, legs, arms, toes and fingers, ears, nose, eyes, a mouth, etc., etc. So when you say me, where is that me? In which body part do you feel that sense of self? Looking deeper into the body, we will find organs, we will find muscles, ligaments, tendons, central nervous systems. We will also find excrement, urine, phlegm, bile, mucus, all things that are not nice, things that are not pleasant. But yet, we still feel that this is our sense of self. We point to our body and we say, "It is me." But the truth is, if you were to cut open any organ or any muscle or any body part, you will not find a sense of self. You will not find an individual called me. To cut through our clinging to our body as our sense of self, let us go a bit deeper. All organs, muscles, etc., they are made up of millions of blood cells. Each individual blood cell is its own intelligence. Which one is you? Each blood cell has millions of molecules inside. Which molecule is you? Each molecule has billions of atoms inside. Which atom is you? Therefore, our sense of self related to the body cannot be found. For the body is not a unit, for it is a multiplicity. It appears as a unit, but is made up of many parts. Likewise, if we were to lose one of our limbs, let's say our left leg, would we still have that sense of self? Of course. We would say, I have lost my leg, but I am still me. Let us suppose that we lost both legs. Then would we lose our sense of self? No. We would say, I lost both legs, but I am still me. Going further, what if we lost both legs and both arms? Would our sense of self be lost? We would say, no, I have lost my legs and my arms, but I am still me. So this shows that our sense of self is not related to our body. Let us use our imagination. Let us imagine that if our head was removed from our torso, but we remained alive and alert, would we say that our sense of self is gone? We would say, no. I can still see, I can still hear, I can still taste and smell. So I am still me. So this shows us that our sense of self that we think we have, our identity that we think we have, is located in our head. If you were to go blind and lose your sight, would you say your sense of self is gone? You would say, no, I can no longer see, but I am still here. I am still me. So, this also shows that our sense of self, or what we think is our identity, is behind our eyes, our vision. Just like in meditation, when we shut off all our senses, there's still an aspect of us in the background that is there. Gaze into your mind and see what you can see. Let's look for that sense of self. Observe your mind. Listen to your mind for a moment. You will see with just a short observation of your mind that thoughts, desires, memories, conversations, and dialogues appear in the space of your mind without your conscious control. They happen by themselves. This mental activity makes us believe that this is our true sense of self. The reason is because the mental activity continues without any break in between. A continuous and successive flow of thoughts, desires, and conversations in our mind gives off the false appearance of a sense of self, because one thought joins to the next thought without a break in between. This gives off the illusion of a me, a myself. But in reality, this is not who you really are. Because if one can observe the thoughts appearing in the mind, if one can hear conversations within the mind, if these thoughts, if this mental activity is truly you, then who is it that's listening? Who is it that is observing the thoughts appear in the mind? There is the observer of the thoughts, and there is the thoughts themselves, the mental activity. The thoughts, the mental activity, the mental content contains a wide spectrum of different emotional states. One thought will be based in anger, and the next thought that comes with it is based in pride, which the next one is based in fear, and so on and so forth. This proves the many different egos within us, the many different false senses of self that we have within. And like we said before, because the constant flow of thoughts is continuous, we believe that it is us. This is only because we have no experience with the observer, as the observer. So let's go a little deeper into this investigation. We have finally reached a point where we can say that thoughts are not us. It is not our true self. It may create the illusion of us feeling that it is our sense of self. But the key to awakening is to break free from this continuous mental activity. So let us try this. This is where it might be a bit difficult for you, depending on your experience in meditation. Staying relaxed and still. Observe into the space of your mind and watch for the mental activity. But while watching the mental activity, try be aware of any gaps in between thoughts, any gaps in between conversations. Spend a moment now observing. If you are aware of any gaps, then congratulations, for this is the first step in breaking free from the constant chain of thoughts. Gazing into your mind, look straight in front of you. What do you see? Space. Empty space. Considering that mental activity has subsided. So if mental activity isn't present, but the space of your mind is, we can safely say mental activity isn't who we are. It isn't our sense of self. So what is our true sense of self? Well, what is this space of the mind that we are looking at? If there is the space, but then there is somebody watching the space, this implies an observer. I would like for you now to spend 5 minutes to look for the observer. Gently look back to where attention is coming from. Look back to where the observer is coming from. Stay relaxed, stay gentle, and just look back with an inquisitive mind, looking for the observer, the one who experiences all. And we will relax with the investigation into the observer. As you can see, when we look back into the observer, there is nothing to be found. There is no body there. There is just this attention, this perception, this awareness happening. When we look for it, we can't find it, but we know it is there. Otherwise, we wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be able to investigate. We wouldn't be able to experience. This is the beginning of our true self, the perceiver, the observer, the experiencer. If we can shift our center of gravity to this perception, to the observer, in all our actions, in all our daily activities, we will have formed the psychological moon, the permanent center of gravity in which Samael Aunvayor speaks of. To always have that perspective of the consciousness, which is the beginning of our true nature, our true self, which cannot be identified, it cannot be grasped, it cannot be found. It is just awake emptiness. In Buddhism, they call it empty cognizance. It is empty because it has no form. It cannot be found. And it is cognizance. because it is conscious, it is attentive, it is the knower. Constant practice of this meditation allows one to break free from the clinging of the mind, from the clinging of mental activity and of ego grasping. It does not kill the ego, but it helps us be centered in the consciousness and to be free from ego clinging. Keep up your practice, dear friends. Inferential peace.